What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful.com, back here with Lisa Marie Veron, also known as Victoria, and one of my favorite wrestling moves in the history of wrestling, period, is the Widow's Peak.
And I cannot take credit for that, though, Sean.
Please educate me.
Okay, yeah, and Molly Holly saw independent wrestler, I'm not going to say his name yet, do a move, and she came back and said, Victoria, we don't call each other by our real names in wrestling, by the way. Victoria, there's a move that I think you should use for your finisher, because I was a big girl and I was one of the girls that can pick up everybody.
Yes.
So you want to be able to do a finisher on everybody. And she said, hook me here, flip me over, hey, grab my neck, I'm going to hook my legs. She goes, drop to your butt. And I'm like, what? Drop to my butt? And everybody was out in the arena, like kind of going over spots and like not rehearsing, but placements in the ring, when people have promos and stuff like that. But people are on we're all text messaging or on our phones in the arena. And Vince saw it and he looked, and then Molly goes, Vince, do you like that for Lisa's finisher? He goes, are you okay? She goes, yeah. And he goes, that's great. And that was my finisher. And she saw Roderick Strong.
Wow.
Roderick Strong.
That is amazing. And he's around today. He had to have been early back then.
He was young. I remember him at one of the hotels. I remember the hotel, like what it looks like, but I don't remember what city. And he was in the lobby, where like a lot of people are waiting in the lobby, like when we check in and stuff like that. He goes, Victoria, and I was like, hey, how you doing? He goes, I'm Roderick. I'm the one that came up with your finisher. And I was like, oh my God, but give me a hug. Oh my God, you put me on the map. I go, thank you so much. I can't believe it. I go, thank you. And he was a young kid. I don't even know if he was 14 years old. I'll be honest with you. He was a baby. Like
right now, he's 36 now. So, I mean,
I know.
That was like almost, 19 years ago?
So he was 16. So he was 16 years old, right?
That is amazing.
Right? Yeah. And so it was like, every time, like, I cannot take credit for that move. Roderick Strong, like, he's an awesome wrestler. I mean, like, he's mesmerizing to watch in the ring, and just, he has the gift, you know what I mean? And to get that finisher, and then Molly being so freaking generous to give it to me when she could have easily taken it for herself, you know what I mean? But she,
hear those stories a lot about Molly Holly.
She's so giving.
Yeah.
She's so giving. I'm telling you, she would help you out and like, hey, I have this other idea, or oh no, like, I was not very one to say, here, let me get more shit in. I was like, she goes, you need to get more stuff in. She never cut. She goes, you need to beat me up more, do more and more stuff to me, And at the time I was like a rookie. Like the more you beat up someone, that their comeback is going to mean more,
Yes.
You need more. And I was like, of course, I was very new to get the psychology, even though I had great trainers, still it's a hard concept because people have wrestled longer than you have, so you don't want to step on anybody's toes and stuff. But, thank you to Nora Greenwald and Roderick Strong for that finish. I'm like, honestly, it put me on the map with that finisher. And the first person to take it, Stacy Keibler.
Really? So obviously she was not nearly as experienced as some of the other women. How did that process go with her being the first one to take it?
I was like, here, do you want to, Molly, of course, came out to show, like, here's what you do, here's where you put your leg. And it's actually easier for someone taller to take it because their knees are closer to the floor,
yes.
If you notice. Okay? So it's not far as a jarring on your knees and stuff like that. But she sold it awesome. She was really good at selling. That's why she got that baby face sympathy and stuff like that, And, she made it. It was amazing.
What do you remember about the crowd?
Yeah. Oh, I heard. Yeah. Every time I do that move, that's all I want to see. I didn't go to an indie show and do all these spectacular moves, but once I hit that freaking Widow's Peak, that's all I need to do. That everybody's waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
It was so unlike anything that was being seen in WWE at that time. Like, because you see it, and the first time you see it, you're not sure what you saw. You just know that it destroyed somebody.
Yeah, their neck is going, and then they're landing on their knees, and their back is going arching, right?
Yeah.
And how I came up with that the name, Sergeant Slaughter. I remember this is the first time I ever said no to the company. They wanted to shave my head to be like Demi Moore,
Oh.
G.I. Jane,
Yes.
and do an army thing. And I was like, I am not Demi Moore, and I will not pull off this bald head and be sexy. I know I won't. And your hair helps you sell. You know, when someone hits you, especially a girl, and you just like, you know, it makes the impact a little bit, and it protects your face. If someone just hits a little bit, you still can make it look like $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Not to expose the business too much, but they wanted, and I said, no, my finisher is called Widow's Peak. It's after my Widow's Peak point on my hair.
I've got it too.
And I came up with it like that. That's how fast I came up with my finisher name. I can't call it. It's called the Widow's Peak, after my hairline.
Such a badass name too.
Isn't it? Widow's Peak?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to shave my head. I was like, I went to fit and I go, I don't want to do this. How do I say no? And I don't want to be a force for a person that doesn't want. I'm not easy to work with. You know, it's a lot of things go in your head. Am I going to get fired for saying no to this? But oh God, I still tell Sergeant Slaughter every time I see him at appearances, I can't believe you wanted to shave my head. Oh my God, you know.
Do you remember anybody being scared to take the move, whether they were experienced, not experienced? Because, you know, I mean, you worked the independents. Maybe you got somebody in like their 10th match and they're like, oh my God, I don't want to take that.
I think people were terrified to take it. But again, we're all terrified to say no. You never say no, like, I'm not going to do that unless, or say, hey, I'm not really good at that. Can you show me it? And I'll take it. I don't want to say no because that's one of your signature stuff. And so that was my finisher. No one could say no. But if you have somebody else in there, you know, especially one of the guys to do it, like here, Lisa, do it to me. Let's just show her. Boom. And you just show how easy it is to take. You know, it's the selling that with really, you know, and grabbing my wrist, you know, to prevent you from sliding to hit my shoulder. But I don't recall anybody saying I don't want to take it.
So I remember briefly, I think maybe it was like 2004, you used a different move, maybe a little bit, like the Black Widow. It was like a front power slam. There you go.
The front, from the power slam boom and then boom to your face?
Yes.
Okay, I got that from Regal, okay. And I wanted to use that as one of the moves, but they said, if you have her in the power bomb, this is why it was not used so much. You have her in the power bomb, why don't you go for the finish? Mm-hmm. She can't get it up from your finish. Why are you going to give her this big move? That's not your finish.
Sure.
And I was like, oh my God, I executed that move so well. I was like loving it. And people were MySpacing and tweeting at that time, back, was that the days?
It was 2004, MySpacing.
Okay, and I want to see that move again, and I wasn't able to do it. Yeah, I forgot about that move. But that spinning sidewalk slam, I call it the spider web. It's like, I got that from Crash Holly. The spinning boom, and then I grab them, and then I drop them.
And like a sidewalk slam, that was good.
Yeah. And every person that I gave it to, that's the funnest move ever. And I just make sure I said, make sure you exhale when you land, because I kind of land on top of you, my body weight. So just go, so you don't get the wind knocked out of you.
Then I remember you did like, I think it was the torture rack drop for a while too. Like, I think it may have been called arachnophobia is what they call it online. I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh my God. I forgot that.
And that was sort of similar to the Widow's Peak in that you had somebody up in a hold and then you drop them and then they fall.
Yeah. See, and again, if I have them in the power bomb and if I have them in the, you know, what's it called? Not torture rack, just over my shoulder, why not go for my finish? So it was that was the psychology about it. Why would you flip them back over when you already have them there for your finish? You might as well finish them off.
Yeah.
You can't get up. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of back and forth with Fit Finley about that, but we can talk to Fit Finley about personal stuff. You know, He was always in charge of the girls, and he goes, it just doesn't, you know, he would have to explain to us, and he was very gentle about explaining to us about stuff. You know, it's just, he's amazing. He's an amazing trainer. That guy is freaking A, man.
Oh yeah, it's what I hear.
God. He's God in the wrestling scene.
As we wrap up, was there anybody that you did this move to and you either struggled to do it or maybe you felt like you got a little too much of it? You were like, oh, damn, I hit that one hard.
Yeah.
Like, how did those work?
Oh, okay. If you have a chance to show it on your clip, like later or during this, it was Christy Hemming. She was the bathing suit. The bathing suit. When I lost the bathing suit contest, remember? And that's when I turned back. And I wasn't comfortable being babyface. I was like not comfortable at all, like just begging people to cheer for me. I was better as the bad guy. She took it and she wanted to make it look so good that she put all her energy, and you can see from the side her back arches. She's very flexible too. She has lordosis, so her back sways more. So she's super flexible. She was like, "Ooh, I kind of tweaked my back a little bit." I mean, she wasn't out for work. She was like, "Ooh." And then when I saw it, I go, "Oh, yeah, you didn't have to arch that much." And she goes, "I just wanted to make you look so good with your finisher and stuff like that." She was, it looked painful, and she did tweak her back a little bit.
I remember a photo from that WWE.com put out, and like you all were almost like cheek to cheek because she was bent back so far, and like all her hair is in your face. It was such a good shot. Like, it was such a good shot.
Oh my God. And don't forget, she weighs what, $105 or something, like there were some girls that are so light that it was, I forget like how hard some people are heavy. So I'm used to going, huh, and then lifting them up. And then I forget how light they would almost overpass me. And I would have to couple steps. I'm like, oh, she's super light. And she's also helping me like kind of with a little prep.
Like, you almost do a gory bomb on accident just because you have to throw somebody over.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I love my finisher. Thank you, Roderick Spawn. Thank you, Molly Holly.
That is amazing, Lisa. Thank you so much for taking the stroll down memory lane. People, check out GAW TV. It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. Follow them at the GAW TV on Facebook and Twitter, and GAW TV on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Till next time, guys. We're out.